Hi guys. Okay, so it's a very good thing that I waited a few days after finishing Acceptance by VanderMeer to do my review, or else I would be screaming my entire review because it made me so mad. Like, I don't know, if you've read the series, like, I think you'll get it because it leaves you with so many questions unanswered, for the most part, at least for me. So this is the book that I'm talking about. Finally read the last one in the trilogy. So apparently it's no longer a trilogy because the author is writing a fourth novel for this trilogy, and it's going to be called Absolution. It's either coming out this year, sometime this year, or sometime next year. I really like these covers. They're really cool. I love how there's not a lot of words on the page. So that's that. Just so you know, this entire video is spoilers, so don't even like think that this is like non-spoiler. Like, I just have to, like, all my questions I just have to. And then look what just came in yesterday. So first, before I show you what came in yesterday, I have to preface that I haven't read the book Annihilation in a while, so I completely forgot about a lot of stuff, to be honest. So I just have to preface it that I am reading it right now through the I'm reading Annihilation again through this. Isn't it so beautiful? I'm obsessed with it. I literally love it so much. It's like a perfect square. Like, compared to this, it's like a perfect square. So there's a lot of words on the pages on this, because look at how thick it is. Because it has it's just called Area X, the Southern Reach trilogy, and then it has all the 3 books there. So it's all 3 books in here, but like, look at the size difference. Like, the one here is a square, like a full square. This is more like a rectangle. It's just like crazy. There's like a lot of words on this page, but this cover is so cool. I love this cover so much. Like, look at how pretty it is. I love, and then the back. I'm just like obsessed with it. So I'm really enjoying reading Annihilation through this, because the Annihilation version that I have that looks like this, it's very like, the pages are like yellow at this point. I literally haven't read it in that long, but I do remember a lot of the stuff from the movie, but I know the movie is very loosely based off of the book and not like directly a copy of it. But so basically, I just wanted to preface that maybe my questions do get answered through rereading Annihilation again. I just haven't read it in a while, so I actually did forget a lot of the stuff. But with everything that I know so far, I still do have a lot of questions. I feel like I could talk about this topic all day, but I won't, for the sake of me not having to upload the video taking like hours and hours. So I literally wrote notes down literally as soon as I finished reading Acceptance, because I was literally going crazy. Please answer the questions for me if you know the answers. I think a lot of the stuff I'm just gonna answer it to myself, even if I don't get a clear answer, because it's just like, oh well, I'm gonna get into it. Okay, so one of my questions was, I'm just gonna list off like my thoughts and questions after reading Acceptance. But okay, hold on. First, I have to preface it one more time that I did love the series. I loved it so much, which is why I bought this, because I literally loved it so much, and I just knew that this was going to be a series I enjoyed, even though it got me so upset. I don't think any book this year or in like 2 or 3 years has gotten me this mad. This just got me like so pissed off, to be honest. But okay, let's get into it. So just so you know, I do love the series, like duh. And I love the way the author writes. It's beautiful. Like, the way the author writes is so beautiful. And the fact, so I have to say about Acceptance, the second person, writing in second person, that probably took a lot, because it's just very different. And it's like, I know a lot of people use that in Wattpad when they're writing like those imagines. I remember when I was in high school, I would read those, and it seemed easier then. maybe it's just like the context, but like this, reading it here, it was very hard to grasp and to read and to be in that POV, let alone 4 different POVs in the last book, let alone, yeah, and they were all in third person. Just like one of the only books that I can read in third person. I could like barely stand it, but I really wanted to read the story. So that goes to show how much of a fan I am of the concept and the idea of the story. Okay, let's finally get into my notes. How does everyone that goes into Area X know exactly how many years have gone by? For example, how does Grace know that she's been there for 3 years? I swear it was 3 years, not 30. Someone in a video said 30, but I swear the book said 3. When she's literally been stuck inside the whole time inside Area X. I personally think Area X wants to be like the Bermuda Triangle, to be honest. There's clearly so much time dilation in here. And I also want to know if the copies or the doppelgangers age or not. There was so much cussing in my notes. I'm not gonna cuss right now because I'm not that angry anymore. What is the Seance and Science Brigade? So maybe my questions are gonna duplicate as if we're in Area X. Maybe my questions will duplicate, I'm not sure, but I just wrote down so many questions and thoughts that I had on my notes after reading the series. So if I get repetitive, I'm just gonna probably skip it. But the Seance and Science Brigade, all I know is that, from like all I remember is that it was known, that area was like known as like the Forgotten Coast or something like that. And there was already that organizations, the Seance and Science Brigade, that was basically doing analysis and studies of that area, like where the lighthouse is, before Area X was Area X. For what? I don't really know. Maybe there was some paranormal, supernatural activity going on there. I don't remember really, but that's all really I know. But seance is basically like a way of communicating with the dead. So that and science, it's like perfect. I love it. But it's just like, why is that organization there, you know? And here's the thing, like when you're an author like Jeff VanderMeer, you don't write or include things or people or anything in your writing, in your novels, that don't belong there. Obviously, like you're the writer, you're like the god of your story, you like control it, right? So that organization definitely has a huge reason why Area X is Area X, and I'm gonna get into it in a second. My other question was, is Area X a pocket dimension? In Acceptance, there was a lot of explanation that Control, I think it was Grace and Control and Ghostbird, were realizing that that they're not on Earth when they go inside Area X. That it looks like Earth, but it's not. One of the things that gave it away to them was apparently like the hallucinations, and then like the fact that there's no moon, the stars would turn into like rabbits, distortions, and a lot of color and a lot of light manipulation was going on. I like how the movie explained it. I don't remember if the book explained it like that, but the movie explained it as Area X is a prism where everything gets refracted up to your DNA and your memories and everything. So I might do a follow-up video after I finish rereading Annihilation on my overall thoughts of the series, like updated version after reading Annihilation. I might, but I might not. I don't know. Either which way, I'm pretty sure rereading Annihilation is going to clear a lot of things up for me. Maybe. What is the crawler, and what is the bright flower with 8 petals? And is it Saul or Saul? I don't know. The crawler. Is Saul the crawler? So the lighthouse keeper. I think I'm just going to call him the lighthouse keeper. I don't know. Because I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Saul or Saul. I don't know. And I don't like mispronouncing names, but this isn't even a real person, so... Well, actually, I don't know. There might be a actual pronunciation for this name that I'm butchering, so sorry. So what is the crawler? So I don't, like I said, I don't remember really much from reading Annihilation the first time. But I'm already like on page 20 right now. I started it yesterday. So a lot of things are already getting explained a little better to me, but I have to read the whole book. Anyways, I think, so once again, I need to reread Annihilation. I know, and I am right now in the middle of doing that. But what is the crawler, and is Saul the crawler, and what is the bright flower with 8 petals? I don't know the significance of the bright flower with 8 petals. Is that what was supposed to be in the, is that what was in the movie though? Like the, what do you say it? How do you say it? It's like, maybe like hyperdimensional, other dimensional vortex type of organism that it was. You know, when Lena was looking inside the light of that moving organism? Is that what this is supposed to be? I'm not sure. And then the crawler is not what was in the movie. I always thought that's what was in the movie, the crawler, but that's not the crawler. That's literally something else. The crawler literally looks completely different when it's described in the book. It's, you can just Google it. I don't want to show you, but you can just Google it. It looks like a sluggish type of monster. It's weird. And yes, I totally got so tired of reading the word lighthouse. Like, oh my gosh, like so tired of it. I wrote here, the author messes with the reader too much with names. Names drove me insane in this series. Lots of people have similar names to literally mess with you, and sometimes the characters call other characters by other names, sometimes as slip-ups, but like the author intentionally did it. Like they call Lowry Jim, and then there's already another character named Old Jim, and then there's also a Jack, and there's also a Jackie Severance, which I think those are 2 different people. I think one of them is a male and female, so that would make Jackie the mom of Control, and then Jack would be the father of Control, which I think I'm on point with that. I think so. The author obviously intentionally did this, so yeah, and I wrote that down. Honestly, the Southern Reach, I feel like the Southern Reach sucks at their job. And also, everyone at the Southern Reach is very annoying. Whitby and Laurie would be like the worst out of all the characters. Grace is very annoying as well, but literally everyone at the Southern Reach is very, very annoying. Henry and Suzanne, what is their purpose? Did ritual magic create Area X? So, I think... I just don't want to repeat the question. So, I think... did ritual magic create Area X? Okay, so obviously you've had to read all 3 books by now. If you read all 3 books, you would know there was that situation with that woman, and they were like all wearing like hooded cloaks. So like you don't wear hooded cloaks like that, and are very creepy about it unless you're like performing ritual magic, which is basically what I think Henry and Suzanne were doing. I think, I'm just gonna say it because I don't know if I ask it again. I think Area X was created by ritual magic. I don't know if it could be alien witchcraft or I don't know what type of witchcraft Henry was practicing. What type of necromantic magic he was practicing. But I think magic definitely brought the ET through another dimension, obviously. Like it was obviously Henry that did it. Like, it's so clear to me. I don't know what your opinion is about it, but to me it's very clear that magic has to do with this. Magic brought this into our planet very prematurely. Like, Henry is like, I don't know. I think Henry wanted to like open a portal to another realm. I don't know if he got the realm to come that he wanted to, or maybe he just has no idea what the hell he's doing and he just wanted to do something with magic. I would really like a book actually about explaining Henry and his attraction to the occult and wanting to, like, I don't know what his motive was. That's the thing. Like, nobody knows like what his motive was. Maybe he's like one of those like mad scientists who wants to just mess around with, I don't know, like genetics and stuff like that. You know what I mean by that? And then he just wanted to mess around with just magic and just messing around with like what he could do with his magical powers, you know? So yeah, I really think that magic created Area X, but I don't think that Henry attracted what he wanted to into Area X because he was still trying to figure it out, but maybe he did know. It's very like, now that I think about it, it's very literally like David from the movie Prometheus, the Alien prequels. It's very that. Like, Henry is literally David, like the android, and he's like infecting, what was her name in Prometheus? How he infected her and got her pregnant with the alien. Yeah, it's very that, like literally, like that's how like psycho he is, like almost like a robot. But anyways, that's what I think happened, and I think it just created this like giant not wormhole but like portal in our planet, and then it created the, I like that it's called the Shimmer in the movie instead of how the book refers to it as the Border. I like that it's called the Shimmer, so I'm gonna call it the Shimmer. Okay. I think there's way too much mystery and like only like the smallest percentage of your questions are answered. I don't like that. It's like because here's the thing, like for me, it's like one thing, because I don't think I've ever read a book that's left me with this many unanswered questions. And I understand like the author wrote the way he wrote things so that you can find the answers within the book, or you can come up with the answers yourself. Because I did read that he said in like a tweet or something that a lot of the answers, like for example of like why some people turn into animals and why some people turn into copies, like there's an explanation for that in his like asides in the story. So you have to like really look for that. I just finished reading both books and I don't remember like where he said that, but okay. It's just like, well, so what I was saying with that is like, it's one thing where like, for example, like the ending, oh, like you can figure it out yourself, but like this is so many things left unanswered, and there's just so much, what do you call it, ambiguity. Like it's written with so much ambiguity and not enough explanation. Also, oh yeah, so that the fact that he knows obviously why some characters turn into animals and some turn into copies. He said that no character in the book series could ever actually know, but that he did write the answers throughout the book somehow. What is even going on with that gay romance with Saul and Charlie? I don't know, I thought that was like very random. And like, what happened to Charlie? Poor little Charlie. I don't know, I thought it was cute that they were together, I guess, but I don't know, like what was up with that? Why did Control just annihilate his own self by throwing himself into the white light? I don't know. I think he was just ready to, I don't know if it lured him in, because I think throwing yourself into the white light like that, like the brightness obviously through the book, the brightness that he kept explaining in the book was, I think, like luring him to just the other side of the portal. I think that could be the portal to another access point or another exit point to another location in another universe. I don't know. Yeah, so I think the brightness is either like the entity possessing them, transmutating them, or luring them into the tower or like the lighthouse, right? Also, like, I feel like the movie Annihilation, like the movie itself, makes the book series look, wait, what? Why did I write that? I don't feel like that anymore about it. I don't know why I even wrote that. I don't know if that makes sense. One of the things that annoyed me the most is the switching between the title of the psychologist, the director, Cynthia, and Gloria. Those are all the same person. And I literally wanted to cry because it was very, very confusing. Yeah, it was just like so confusing. It's just like, why does this poor girl have so many names that she's referred to in the book? I thought all the hallucinations were crazy. Someone said the voice, like capital V, was Lowry. Lowry. An explanation video said so, and I swear I thought it was Control's mom. Like, I really did think it was Control's mom, but like, I guess not. Like, I don't know. And I wonder if the owl really is the biologist's husband. I mean, I feel like it's gotta be, because I feel like, I don't know, maybe the author wouldn't write that if it really wasn't. I don't know. And did the alien really land on, like, literally, did the alien really just land on the lens of the lighthouse? Like, what? Like, that tiny little sliver was the light, like, so crazy to me. I don't know. Why? Yeah, okay, so I already talked about that. The final moments of Grace and Ghostbird are like so stupid to me, honestly. Like, I thought it was like a terrible ending to them. Just like ending about their southern reach with already Area X overtaking it, as we know from the last moments of Authority. And also, how did Ghostbird create the door to Area X through the ocean? Like, I really want to know about that. So what is the crawler writing on the wall, and why are there frequent reference to demons? So apparently Saul, or the lighthouse keeper, which is the same person, was a preacher before, and apparently the writings on the wall are like sermons. I really liked when he wrote this. Let me try to find it. This was my favorite quote from like the whole book, probably. There shall be a fire that knows your name, and in the presence of the strangling fruit, its dark flame shall acquire every part of you. That is so good to me. That was my favorite quote. Okay, I think honestly the second book was kind of pointless to the overall story. Like, it literally dragged so much for no reason, I feel like. I still thought it was good, but I feel like it's one of the least best ones maybe in the whole trilogy. Oh, okay. So this is what my initial thought. I wrote, it's so dumb that 30 years have passed and literally no change in the knowledge obtained from Area X. Like, seriously? So I had this question originally, but I saw an explanation video saying that the biologist experiences 30 years of time inside her 3 weeks of Area X. So I guess it like confused me in the book or something. So apparently 3 weeks had gone by in real time, but inside the shimmer it was 30 years experience, which is crazy. So did Henry die or not? Or was that Henry's copy? I think apparently it was Henry's copy. when Saul and him fell off the lighthouse. Also, is the mouse that Whitby was carrying the original Whitby? I think there's a possibility. Because I think, didn't we see the fight of the two Whitbys fighting, or was it the two Lauries? No, I think it was the two Whitbys. I think Central is literally a joke, and obviously the Seance and Science Brigade partnered basically with Central, or I think they created Central, which then created the Southern Reach. There's just like so many organizations. There's like I don't know why this series is very focused on organizations. I mean, I guess there is a reason, but like it's just like organization after organization after organization, and they all have like walls of secrets. What's up with the word ghost used a lot in the series, like ghost bird, ghost energy, and ghosts and spirits were mentioned quite a bit. I think more in acceptance. Why does Henry say early in his research, he identifies before the formation of Area X, that it would be characterized by necromantic doubling, which is literally cloning the dead? He refers to ghost energy, and in particular prebiotic particles. So Henry drills the lamp and basically infects Saul with the prebiotic particle, which then creates Area X. That was just my like question that I had, which I think literally is what happened. Where does the shimmer take you? And why is there a door in the first place to enter Area X? So apparently there's a door that gets you into Area X, but if you pass through a section of the shimmer where there's no door, you just like vanish, you just like disappear, and no one knows where you get transported to. Like they did with all the rabbits. Like all the rabbits just vanished. They thought they would overload the machine, which they thought it was a machine, but I don't know if it's a machine or not. It's like an organic machine. I don't know. Who was the strange woman with Henry and Suzanne that one night? Was it, I think it was Jackie Severance, because I don't know who else it could be. So Saul gets glimpses of a universe in his mind, and he sees the past, present, and future of Area X. So obviously the organism is extra dimensional if it can show you simultaneous time. The one thing I do like is that it seems the scientists who are so logic-based cannot understand Area X, but the occultist ones, or the ones that just accept Area X for what it is, like Henry Whitby and the biologist and Ghostbird, grasp it. Is Area X an alternate reality, plan B maybe for an alien world, or just an extra dimensional organism? Is the lighthouse, oh no, I already did answer that myself. Okay, before I read something from an article explaining some stuff, I wanted to say that now I know that like no matter how you write or what you write, your readers are going to hate you either way or love you, because this author has a lot of hate from like how many things are unanswered and unexplained, like especially on Reddit. So I feel like that gives me hope to becoming an author soon. That like literally no matter what you write, people are going to hate you. And obviously like I knew that before, but like this is more affirmation. So let me just talk about my thoughts on what I thought the series was going to be originally, and then what I originally thought it was going to be, and then what I would have made it seem as. I thought it was going to be more like like the answers were actually going to be explained, especially since the third book in the summary it shows that your questions are answered, and they're like clearly not. So I thought it was going to be about, honestly, like an ET landing to Earth, but I had no idea it was going to be done through ritual magic, and just adjusting to its ecosystem. Basically, that's really what I thought it was going to be about. And this is like very different than that. I feel like this is more of a, I don't know, like I feel like so much is going on, to be honest. Like there's just like so much. There's like the tower, there's like the lighthouse, and then there's not Fire Island, Failure Island. And then there's also like, there's just like so many things to like, there's so much mystery here. Like it's all like so crazy. And it does remind me of Color Out of Space. That movie like really freaked me out. Maybe that's why I really like this one, because it's like a version of it that doesn't freak me out. But yeah. So I wanted to, this is what I was gonna say, I forgot to say. What I would have made the series about is like, I don't know, make it seem more, either like more magic used or more of a, more monster maybe communicating clearer with the characters. I don't know. Or maybe having them go to literally another dimension, go to another universe, something like that. I don't know. I love this part from the movie where, actually I have to find the screenshot of it now because, okay. I love this part from the movie when Dr. Ventress is found in the lighthouse with the, I think with the, basically the organism already overtaking her body, where she says, apparently this is from Plato, like the, what is he, philosopher? I don't know what Plato was, but that. She says, it's the last phase, vanished into havoc, unfathomable mind, now beacon, now sea. Lena, we spoke, what was it we said? That I needed to know what was inside the lighthouse. That moment's past, it's inside me now, it's not like us. It's unlike us. I don't know what it wants, or if it wants, but it will grow until it encompasses everything. Our bodies and our minds will be fragmented into their smallest parts until not one part remains. Annihilation. And then she basically explodes. That was just like so beautiful. I don't know, like everything I just read was like so beautiful, and in the movie it was like perfect. Like I literally loved it so much. It was just so perfect. I don't know how to explain it, but I didn't want the video to be this long, but I feel like it's important to read this from this article that I found online. Let's see. It's from Goodreads, okay? This is about the series. Semiotics aside, my best guess is that Area X is this sort of a Noah's Ark sort of extraterrestrial life that can, at its whim, transcend space-time. Remember the flashes and visions that Saul had of a burning comet falling from the sky? Something crashed in front of him, or he saw the crashing in a vision after he was infected or initiated by the 8-petal flower of brightness. Another character had such a vision. The image was of a total devastation by stars falling. So basically what happens is this. Alien species, which we will call the brightness, exists on a faraway world which has similar biology and ecology to ours. Remember, expedition members into Area X couldn't at first grasp they were in fact on another planet. The unfamiliar night sky and the ripples in the sky, because the flora and fauna were similar, or Earth's flora and fauna were transported somewhere far away to preserve life. An apocalyptic event wipes out most of the brightness species. Instinctively or technologically, the brightness somehow seeks out a fertile world for themselves to seed, or some sort of technology or primal organism of theirs. Having the ability to travel through space and warp time for some reason, an amount of their brightness gets trapped into one of the 2 lighthouses where it hibernates, the glass of the beacon or the lens. For some reason, the S and SB, which is the Seance and Science Brigade, are sent to investigate for paranormal phenomena in the area, and eventually they, Henry and Suzanne, pin down the phenomenon. They find the anomalous light, something happens, it or they break the glass lens where it is stuck, after which the brightness falls down, where then Saul sees it, is attracted to it, touches it, and so it enters him and infects him and starts to change him. With its ephemeral or light-based biology intertwined with his, there seems to be also some kind of species memory transfer via DNA or something else. He recalls a burning star crashing in front of him, but then sees nothing. Two solutions to this is that it was a memory, so it didn't happen to him, but was a racial/DNA memory of the demise of the alien species, or it was real and he, getting brightened, attracted another brightness seed to his location in Area X or the Forgotten Coast. The second landing was in fact the topographical anomaly site, and the crash in fact created the tower, which is just a camouflage crater or impact site, on the bottom of which, as we discover in the finale of Acceptance, is a portal, but also another flower which guards or is placed near the portal. Remember, the first flower infected Saul, the second flower infected Whitby. He saw it bloom, probably touched it, no one saw this except him, but after that he changed. And the third visitor is obviously kept at the bottom of the tower, which may well have arrived by the crash Saul saw many years prior. In the meantime, Southern Reach tries to make sense of this. The alien visitors function as either symbiotes or parasites to a human host, depending on the host. In Saul's case, the alien completely takes him over, internally shutting him out and externally mutating him to extreme extents, so he becomes the crawler. I lost my spot. Whitby is also completely taken over or driven mad. However, those are contacts of a certain kind where a flower of light infects them. The biologist, though, and others are infected via a sort of spore, a second type of encounter like the writing on the wall from the crawler/Saul. The interesting part about this is that once someone is infected by the second way, the spores, they become two people, a clone is formed. Then battle commences, and usually the original is killed. Remember, most of those that return from Area X have to enter the tower, meet and get infected by the crawler, and exit via the portal on the bottom. Also remember, in Annihilation, the biologist and her crewmates discover a dead body lying on the stairs down in the tower. The body, or was it bodies, seemed to have died without a struggle. In essence, they were already dead originals. They were the dead originals whose clones traversed the portal and exited Area X. So basically, these brightness alien species control a portal through which they send faux copy humans, perhaps as a sort of expendable sentries, because they lack complete memory and they die soon. The biologist being one example, not sure why, perhaps because she was already internally disciplined and detached from her personality. Because what the crawler spores can clone is that which is not attached to one's semiotic mental identification. Therefore, most of the other candidates end up almost wiped out when cloned by the crawler and die soon. But the biologist who identified herself with her profession got cloned, or was she cloned, more completely, because large chunks of her neurosemiotic identity were left intact after she got infected by the brightness? ? But we also meet the fully mutated biologist. Confusing. Perhaps the clones are sent back to explore, and the originals, if not killed, are mutated per the rules of the Area X alien planet ecology. So basically, it's a first contact story, although a weird one. Basically, the alien species are very weird and complete, because possibly pretty much wiped out too, and very alien regarding their modes of operation and communication. There is a very strong possibility of an invasion, though. I do see the possibility of invasion happening too. That was like the best explanation that I could find. There's also a lot of explanation videos on YouTube. I really like the time, someone, I forgot what their channel was called. Someone explained the timeline of the Southern Reach entirely. They like illustrated it out, and it was very, very, very helpful for me. Because the timeline of this entire story is very, very chaotic. It literally goes back and forth through so much past, present, future. I also wanted to say that, like, let's go back to me, like, knowing, like, the real stuff that I know about, like, ETs and stuff. And if you don't watch my daily stuff on my channel, you're gonna think I'm crazy, but like, I don't care. You need to catch up to the other videos. But like, okay, so like, I know about, like the real ETs that we know about now at the moment, are nothing like the ETs in this story. That's what makes cosmic horror, I think, such a amazing genre. I don't know like how else to say it, but like I feel like cosmic horror is like such an incredible and amazing genre because it shows like the horror of the unknown, and it shows like the horror of like what other kinds of ETs and organisms are out there that don't have the consciousness that we do. They could be higher life forms, but they don't communicate in the way that we do. And like the way that, I don't know, like the Pleiadians or like all the other ET races that are in communication with us, like the ones in our reality. So it makes me think, like, if something like this were to happen on Earth, first of all, I don't think they would let it happen because they monitor everything on Earth. And then second, I wonder if anything like this, these types of ETs, like in the book, have they ever encountered or have they ever crashed on planets like where the Pleiadians live or all these other higher dimensional beings, you know? I wonder like how that interaction would look with them. I feel like there's so much fear and like unknown in how these why is my nose itching? Fear and like unknown and like how these characters and like how these organisms would land on Earth. Like it's like so scary to think about because these are not, it doesn't seem like, at least, beings that you can communicate with like telepathically or like astral traveling like you could with like the Pleiadians and stuff like that. So it's like the communication, it's almost like very hard to communicate with this species like this. So that's, I think that's what scared me a lot in watching Color Out of Space, because it was definitely something that you really couldn't communicate with, and it was also witchcraft that brought aliens into the planet. So it was so chaotic, but I really do love like the H.P. Lovecraft vibe of this, and just like H.P. Lovecraft stuff in general. I actually haven't really read anything H.P. Lovecraft. I've only seen The Color Out of Space, and I know a little bit about his other ET monsters, basically extra dimensional creatures, monsters that he's created, that H.P. Lovecraft has created. Hold on. I don't know. I was just Googling something really quick. But I don't know what else to say about the series. I might make a review on Annihilation. I don't know. But if I don't, then that's just, it is what it is. Maybe a lot of my stuff will get answered. But I think I covered everything that I wanted to. I know this video is probably going to be like an hour long. Oh my goodness. But I did have so much to say about it because there is so much to dive into in this story. So final thoughts, honestly, still without reading Annihilation again, my final thoughts are still that magic or witchcraft of some sort brought these other extra dimensional beings, organisms, into our reality, into our planet. And for all I know, it could be an invasion, just definitely happening at a interesting and weird way. But yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. If I have anything else to say about it, I don't know where I'm gonna say it. Maybe in a YouTube video for reviewing Annihilation. I don't know, but this might be the last video that I talk about this. I don't know, but those are all my thoughts on it. I thought it was created by witchcraft and that it brought the aliens here. I really would like a whole book, maybe, with Henry, I don't know, practicing witchcraft. And maybe he's had experiences like this before in the past, but not to this extent. I don't know. And who is teaching him this magic? Where did he get this magic spells from? Like, where did he get all this knowledge from? You know what I mean? So he definitely has a huge part in the occult, at least I think so. Obviously, I think he's just very curious and wants to experiment. And he probably doesn't matter what he has to do, what the consequences or repercussions are of him experimenting is, and he'll literally do anything to just, I don't know, practice magic. Maybe he just wants to feel powerful. Maybe he just wants to be a god. I don't know. But those are my final thoughts on Henry. I think this is all Henry's fault, to be honest. He kills Suzanne, so either she was like expendable to him, or she maybe just didn't have the craziness that he did, and maybe she just didn't want to put up with it anymore. I don't know. This could go so much deeper. Like, I don't know, like I really would want a book on Henry and Suzanne, even though I really hated Henry, like very, very annoying. But I don't know, I feel like it would be really cool to dive into that. So into like the, you know, because I really love metaphysics and all that, so it would be really cool for him to just create a book on Henry and like the witchcraft part of it. But I think that would make the series so much more interesting. Oh my god, like it already is interesting, but this would make it like perfect, I think. Yeah, because what if he's already like, imagine like, what if Henry's already like traveled to other dimensions or other universes through this magic, or maybe Henry himself is already an ET who wanted to bring, wow, that would be such a cool story. That would be such a cool story if Henry was already himself an ET and wanted to invite other ETs onto the planet, from like the magic that he's learned before from others. Oh my god, that is so cool. Okay, stop. I need to stop. Because that would be really, really cool. Okay, let me know what you guys think about the series, and please answer in the comments the questions that I didn't get answered, if you guys know the answers.